All right, let's talk about something we all love to see, but that can also be kind of confusing, the bonus paycheck. We're going to pull back the curtain and demystify exactly where all that money goes before it ever lands in your bank account.
You've been there, right? You see that big, beautiful bonus number in an email, you start daydreaming about what you're going to do with it, and then the direct deposit hits. And you're just staring at your phone thinking, wait a minute, where's the rest of it?
I mean, look at this. You're awarded $5,000, but you only see about $3,000 of it. It feels like some massive, secret bonus tax just swooped in and took a huge chunk. Well, guess what? In this explainer, we are going to solve this exact mystery. Okay, let's dive right in. The whole key to this puzzle is understanding that, to the tax system, not all money is created equal. It all starts with this idea of non-regular payments. So what in the world is a non-regular payment? Honestly, it's pretty much what it sounds like. You know how your salary shows up like clockwork on a predictable schedule? Well, this is not that. It's any extra income that doesn't have a fixed frequency. And because it's kind of special, the government has its own special rule book for how to handle it. And to make this super clear, here are a few perfect examples. Of course, there's your performance bonus, but it also includes things like getting paid out for vacation days you didn't take, or even that signing bonus you got when you started a new job. All of these things fall right under that non-regular umbrella. And that brings us to the main event, the reason we're all here, the official government-approved way of calculating the tax on this money. It's actually called the bonus tax method, and it is the single reason for that big gap between what you were awarded and what you actually got to keep. So here's the core idea, the logic behind it all. It is not a penalty. It's not an extra tax just for getting a bonus. Instead, the tax system is trying to make a quick, smart guess. It says, okay, with this big chunk of extra money, this person's total income for the year is going to be higher. So we need to withhold tax at a rate that reflects that new, higher income level. It's a proactive calculation. All right, you ready to roll up our sleeves and actually do the math? Don't worry, we're going to walk through this together, step by step. It might look a little complicated at first, but I promise the logic is surprisingly simple once you see it laid out. And we'll stick with our $5,000 bonus example. Here it is, our 6-step roadmap. The entire point of this whole process, the goal of all these steps, is to figure out the extra tax that applies just to the bonus money itself, without messing with the tax on your regular pay. Okay, first things first. This system basically pretends to take your bonus and spread it out evenly across every single paycheck for the whole year. Imagine it's a pizza. We're cutting that big bonus into 26 smaller, more manageable, paycheck-sized slices. So let's look at the actual math. Now, quick heads up, we don't start with the full $5,000. First, other required deductions have to come off, things like government pension contributions. That leaves us with the taxable amount. That's the number we divide by 26 pay periods, and it gives us our little bonus slice of about $190. Okay, on to step 2. We basically play a game of what if. We create a hypothetical or theoretical paycheck. We take your normal pay and we add just one of those little bonus slices to it. This lets us see exactly how that tiny bit of extra cash changes the tax for a single pay period. So just like you see here, that $190 bonus slice gets added to a regular net taxable income of about $1,500. And that gives us our new theoretical paycheck of just over $1,700. Simple addition. Next up, we're actually going to combine steps 3 and 4 because they're two sides of the same coin. We figure out the income tax on your normal, regular paycheck. Then we figure out the income tax on our new, bigger, theoretical paycheck. This comparison, this is the whole enchilada. And this chart really tells the story. You can see a regular paycheck has about $307 in tax withheld. But when we add just that one little bonus slice, look what happens. The tax on our make-believe paycheck jumps up to almost $370. That little bit of extra income was enough to push us into a higher withholding bracket for that pay period. And now for the crucial step, step 5. We subtract the old tax amount from the new tax amount. By doing this, we perfectly isolate the exact amount of extra tax that was generated by that one single bonus slice. This is the magic number. And the difference is $62.35. Let that sink in. That is the extra tax owed on just one of those 26 little slices of the bonus. We are so close to the finish line now. And here we go, the grand finale, step 6. We take that little bit of extra tax we just found, that's $62, and we multiply it by the total number of pay periods in the year.
We're essentially taking all 26 of our pizza slices and putting them back together to see the tax on the whole pie. So we multiply that $62 and change by 26, and we get our grand total, $1,621.10. That, right there, is the final income tax that will be withheld from your $5,000 bonus. And look at that. We are right back where we started, but this time it all makes sense. You start with the $5,000 bonus. You take out the required contributions, you take out the income tax that we just calculated together, and boom, you land right at that take-home pay of $2,999.90. Mystery solved.
So, after all that math, what's the big aha moment here? What does this all mean for you the next time you hear a bonus might be coming your way? Let's break down the big takeaways.
There are really 3 huge things to remember. First, it's not some random high bonus tax rate. It's a method that estimates your new higher annual income. And you know what? Since it's an estimate, sometimes it can actually withhold a little too much, which means you might get some of that back as a tax refund later. Second, it's a logical step-by-step process, not just a random number. And third, and this is the best part, now that you know the method, you can actually predict your take-home pay way more accurately. No more surprises.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you've seen behind the curtain, now that you actually get the method, how are you going to plan for your next bonus? Because you're not in the dark anymore. You're now empowered with the knowledge to know almost exactly what to expect. Thanks for digging into this with me.